Christy Keane, a central figure in Ireland's criminal underworld, has a storied history of violence, drug trafficking, and conflict. Based in Limerick, Keane built a notorious empire that has not only left a lasting mark on the city, but also extended its reach across national and international borders. Over decades, the Keane gang has evolved from a local operation to a significant player in organised crime, while its ongoing feud with rival gangs has resulted in bloodshed and devastation. Welcome back to Crime Chronicles. Today we look at Christy Keane, his gang's activities, and his recent arrest in connection to a huge cocaine bust. Will this arrest finally lead to a conviction that gets him off the street for good? Stay tuned. Christy Keane first emerged in the 1990s as a significant criminal figure in Limerick. Initially operating a legitimate coal delivery business, he allegedly used the operation as a front for drug trafficking and firearms smuggling. Cash-based delivery businesses have always been a favourite way for gangs to move and sell drugs, while looking like a legitimate business while in residential areas. His ties to major criminal figures such as John Gilligan and the Irish National Liberation Army bolstered his influence, enabling him to expand his network. The gang's early operations focused on drug distribution, mainly cannabis. However, as the Keane gang grew, it moved into cocaine trafficking, amassing wealth and cementing its reputation as one of Ireland's most feared criminal organisations. By the early 2000s, Christy Keane was firmly established as the patriarch of the gang. A pivotal aspect of Christy Keane's criminal history is the infamous feud between the Keane Colopy and McCarthy-Dundon gangs. This conflict dates back to 1993, when Patrick McCarthy was murdered, allegedly over a drug-related dispute. Though Christy Keane was acquitted of McCarthy's murder, the rivalry escalated, leading to years of violence. In 2003, the feud claimed one of its most high-profile victims, Christy's brother, Kieran Keane. Kieran was abducted, tortured, and murdered by members of the McCarthy-Dundon gang, a brutal act that intensified hostilities. Keane's nephew, Owen Treacy, was stabbed 17 times in the same attack. Over the years, the feud has resulted in 19 murders, becoming one of the deadliest gang wars in Irish history. In 2015, Christy Keane survived an assassination attempt on the University of Limerick campus. Shot 4 times, he narrowly escaped death. The attack was orchestrated by the McCarthy-Dundon gang, further exemplifying the ongoing and violent nature of the feud. The Keane gang has long been associated with large-scale drug trafficking. Beginning with cannabis distribution in the 1990s, the gang later moved into cocaine, which became its primary source of income. The gang's operations extended beyond Limerick, with connections to international drug suppliers. These activities attracted the attention of law enforcement, culminating in significant seizures, arrests, and crackdowns over the years. In addition to drugs, the gang has been implicated in the importation of firearms. This aspect of their operations has been tied to the ongoing gang feud, as both the Keane and McCarthy-Dundon factions sought to arm themselves in their territorial battle. The gang also engaged in extensive money laundering operations. Family members including Christy's sister Sandra here and nephew Warren here have been implicated in laundering proceeds from drug sales. Lavish expenditures, including property purchases and extravagant weddings, were funded by illicit wealth, as revealed in court proceedings. The Keane gang has been a primary target of police operations for decades, resulting in numerous arrests and asset seizures. In 2000, Christy Keane was sentenced to 10 years in prison for possession of €240,000 worth of cannabis, which was found in a coal sack. This conviction was part of Operation Coalface, an initiative targeting the gang's drug activities. Fast forward to 2020, and Operation Coronation led to raids at over 60 locations in Limerick, targeting the gang's stronghold in Garryowen. Significant cash, luxury goods, and property were seized, exposing the gang's financial operations. Now, in late 2024, Christy Keane has been arrested again following the seizure of €560,000 worth of cocaine in Limerick during Operation Tara. This marked another major blow to the gang's operations, and potentially could lead to a conviction that would see Christy jailed for a large part of his later life. The Keane gang's activities have often involved family members, blurring the lines between criminal and familial loyalty. Key family members who have had legal troubles include Sandra Heer, Keane's sister, who was convicted of money laundering. Sandra surrendered properties in Lanzarote and Limerick after police found over €124,000 of cash in her attic. She claimed to have saved the money from legitimate earnings, a claim later disproven in court. Warren Heer, Christy's nephew, described as a mid-level member of the gang, has been jailed multiple times for drug offences and money laundering. He once hosted a lavish wedding at Bunratty Castle, financed through criminal proceeds. Another nephew, David Keane, was convicted of cocaine possession at a family wedding. David's arrest further highlighted the gang's deep entrenchment in criminal activities. The feud between the Keane-Calliope and McCarthy-Dundon gangs has shaped much of Limerick's gangland history. The conflict has involved many assassinations, such as Kieran Keane's murder in 2003. There have been retaliatory attacks, as well as the 2015 attempt on Christy Keane's life. The feuds also led to collateral damage, with numerous associates and family members becoming victims or perpetrators in the ongoing violence. The Criminal Assets Bureau has played a pivotal role in dismantling the Keane gang's financial operations. By freezing bank accounts, seizing properties, and targeting unexplained wealth, the CAB has disrupted the gang's cash flow. These CAB actions have included the confiscation of properties in Lanzarote and Limerick linked to money laundering, as well as freezing accounts tied to Christy Keane's relatives, including Sandra and Warren Heer. Investigations also found luxury items, such as Rolex watches and lavish home renovations, were funded by crime proceeds. The Keane gang's activities have left a lasting impact on Limerick, contributing to the city's reputation as a hub for organised crime. While law enforcement efforts have significantly weakened the gang, its legacy of violence, drug addiction, and community disruption persists. Christy Keane and the Keane gang epitomise the challenges posed by organised crime in Ireland. From their beginnings in the coal business to becoming major players in drug and firearms trafficking, their story reflects the complexities of tackling entrenched criminal networks. With continued efforts from police, the CAB and the judicial system, there is hope that with this latest bust and associated arrests, the gang's influence will be further diminished. However, the scars left by decades of violence and crime in Limerick serve as a reminder of the enduring consequences of gangland feuds. Thank you for joining us today on Crime Chronicles. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the channel with your friends.